What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Blue Side FC channel. I'm Nia Martin. I hope you're all doing great. Um, a lot has happened this week. A lot of things have happened this week that's altered our club. A lot of changes in management, and yeah, a lot has happened internally at the club and externally too. So, firstly, we lost at in Croatia against Dynamo Zagreb. They outplayed us. They were better. They were better in the entire game. I don't remember a point in the game where we were doing well. I think we start. You see, the thing is that we always start hot, and then when we start hot, then we fade out. That's what we've done this season. We've done it many times. Even our first the first game we played against Everton and we lost and we won. It didn't really even look that great. We won all right, but it wasn't really a great win. And we started well as well, and then we paid off. We always do that. And sometimes we are lucky enough to come away with the result. Sometimes we lose. So in this situation, we lost. It was a neatly placed goal. They scored it beautifully, and they were able to defend it until the end of the game. So and then that was that. That was done. And then the following day, I was about to record a preview video actually for the Zagreb game, and then Chelsea officially announced or tweeted that they had parted ways with Thomas Tuchel. It wasn't received well by a lot of the Chelsea fans, including myself. It wasn't really received well, but it happened. It happened. It was a shock because if this happened with the previous ownership, like everybody it would still be a shock, like with what happened with Lampard. It would still be a shock, but it will still be understandable because they have set a kind of precedence that if you don't meet the standard, you are going. So it's a shock, but it's not really a shock because you know that that's what they do. They sack managers, they sack and hire. They've been sacking and hiring managers for a very long time. From Jose Mourinho, they sacked and hired, sacked and hired, sacked and hired. So and it's brought us success. And I think the previous ownership, that was the um, um, strategy that we were going with to give us success. If you're unable to live up to the target they've set for you, you're gone. But this new ownership, we all thought they wanted something stable. They wanted something long term, but unfortunately, um, um, there were issues behind the scenes between Thomas Tuchel and then Todd Bowley. I read an article on the Athletic .com. You should check it out. Very detailed article on how all this transpired. There were some backroom issues. There were some communication breaks between Tuchel and the players, Tuchel and Bowley, Bowley and Tuchel. Like there were some disagreements and meetings. There were a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes that led up to this point. So although we took it as a shock, it seems like it was something that's been happening behind the scenes for a long time because everything happened very quickly. Tuchel was fired. The next day, Graham Potter was hired. So immediately Tuchel was fired, they had already started talking to Graham Potter, and the next day he was hired. So it wasn't really I think it was a planned thing. Todd Bowley and his team had. Um, um, then they knew that they were if results weren't going for Chelsea, they were going against Chelsea, then that was going to happen. And it looked like Zagreb, the game against Zagreb was the final nail in the coffin for Tuchel, unfortunately. Like, we loved him. A lot of Chelsea fans loved him, including myself. I loved him. When Lampard left, I was like, nah, I'm not giving. You guys know how much I love Lampard. He's the reason why I'm even supporting this club in the first place. So when he became manager of the team, I was so excited, and then things didn't work out well and he got fired. I was so pissed. I was so pissed when he got fired. I was so sad when he got fired because the Roman Abramovich era made us think that he was a long-term project. So we thought, yes, he's going to be around for a very long time, but he was sacked. And after Lampard got sacked, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get emotionally attached to any manager again. So for like Tuchel's first 3 4 months, I was just neutral. I was just watching him. He did well watching him, enjoyed the wins, but I wasn't really emotionally attached. Then this man goes to win the Champions League for Chelsea, a second Champions League for Chelsea, and then yeah, I was like, you know what? This man understands the club. He understands what Chelsea is about. He understands it, and then the season after that, we weren't too good. The season after that, but we're okay. We're all right, and we started the season very very well, and then unfortunately, transfers that we had, bringing in Lukaku and all that, derailed us a bit, and then but I really really liked him. I think I grew to like him a lot was when we were going through our issues with the British government, when the British government sanctioned us under the suspicion that Roman Abramovich was working with Putin on all that crap that they came up with just to sanction our team and then eventually sell it. I felt like the way Tuchel handled that whole situation, like if anybody didn't know that Chelsea had been sanctioned, you would think Chelsea is running very very well behind the scenes because Tuchel handled everything with calm. His interviews were like he was the face of Chelsea at the time. Roman wasn't talking to anybody. Granovskaya wasn't talking to anybody. Czech wasn't talking to anybody. Bruce wasn't talking to anybody. So it was him and the press, and it was him representing Chelsea to the world, and he spoke so eloquently. He spoke so his talks were measured. Everything was like it was perfect. It was perfect. He calmed the fans. He calmed nerves. He made us not worry much about the sanctions, even though it was really really affecting the team behind the scenes. But it seemed like everything was working well, and then the transition finally happened, and the transition worked out very very well. And then it looked like um, um, Todd Bowley and Co wanted him to man the ship for a longer period, but unfortunately it wasn't like that. So things happened, and then Graham Potter the next day was announced as Chelsea manager. And yeah, I have my reservations about Graham Potter. He hasn't really managed. He has not. He hasn't really. He hasn't managed a top team. Let's be frank. He hasn't managed a top team. He managed a team in Sweden. Then he came to Swansea. Then he came to Brighton, and he has done extremely well with Brighton. Don't get me wrong. He has done extremely well with Brighton. He has put Brighton Hove Albion on the map. He has done very very well with is it Hove or Hove? Sorry, on the map. Like now, a lot of teams fear Brighton. Like they play against Brighton, they fear Brighton, and it's it's a it's a good feat. It's a good feat. I like his offensive play. He's very very good on the attack. His defense also needs a little bit of work, but I think with the defenders that he's come to get, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Fofana, Chaloba, Aspi, these people are top defenders. James Chilwell, like it will be easier for him to cultivate that here. So I think the argument that is made for him mostly is that if he was able to handle a team like a team with Brighton with less resources or less top level quality of players like Chelsea has, then if he gets Chelsea, he's going to be extremely better. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Jose Mourinho when he left Porto and came to Chelsea. But with Jose Mourinho, he won with the average team that he had at the time. It seemed average compared to the other teams, and he won with them. He won the Champions League with them, so he merited. At the time, he merited Chelsea. But with Graham Potter, he just has the potential. The potential is there, and we've all seen the potential, but hasn't really won anything. So it's going to be a big ask. It's going to be a big risk, but we've taken it. Todd Bowley has taken it. We've given him a 5-year contract. That's a pretty long one. I don't think the previous administration were given that long of a contract, but 5-year contract, it means they have a lot of trust in him. So I just wish him the best. I just hope the things that if he does well, Chelsea does well. So I'm just hoping that this is not a risk that we regret. I hope it's a risk that we eventually look back on and say yes, that was the right move, or that was this, or he has benefited us a lot. So, and he's a solid manager. I can't lie about it. He's a solid manager. Whether he can be solid for Chelsea, that's another issue. So I'm just hoping that he does well for us, and then we move on. I was looking forward to seeing an interview of his and or anything, so we get to know his plans for the club and everything. But unfortunately, something else also happened, and the Queen of England passed away on the same day he was announced. So it took a lot of concentration away from him as the new manager, and And of course, everything was now focused on that issue. And yeah, my condolences to all the British citizens and all the royal family members. I know they are grieving at this particular time, and yeah, um, she was a very good person. She was a very lovely person. Like me, I grew up seeing her on TV and seeing pictures of her and stuff like that. I really didn't see anything bad. Like she was loved. She was loved. There are other things people might say behind the scenes and stuff, but she's passed away. She was loved by a lot of people. Let them grieve the way they want to grieve. And then yeah, so the Premier League also announced that um um the games this weekend will be postponed, which is fair. It's not even fair. I think it's the best thing to do. I remember when our Ghanaian president, I don't know whether most of you know, but our Ghanaian president passed away. I think 2012. President Atta Mills. A lot of things were halted. A lot of things were halted, and there was a lot of gloom in the country. A lot of people were sad. You go to certain places that usually are noisy, everything's quiet and stuff like that. I can't imagine fans going to the stadiums to cheer when their monarch has passed away. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why people are angry about the postponement of games, but it makes perfect sense that they postpone the games, at least for this weekend. If they postpone it for a second weekend, and then that's when the some of the complaints come in, because they've sold some of the TV rights. Some countries would want to watch it and stuff like that. And yeah, I think a week a week should do. If they want to extend it again, it's their prerogative. They can do what they want. It's their country, it's their team, it's their queen. If they feel like they need another week to mourn her dead, then so be it. But yeah, so that's all that happened this week. For me, I think it benefits the team, even that the 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 fact that games are not going to be played. It benefits the team a lot, because now Graham Potter can get more time to work with the players. He can get more time to talk with them. He said apparently he has a master's in psychology, so he can get more time to talk with them, interact with them, get to know them better, and then the players also knowing him better. So it's 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 kind of like a win situation for Chelsea. I won't lie about that. And compared to how we were when we played Dynamo Zagreb, I think we need a little bit of time to prepare and focus towards the next game, which is Fulham. Because I think if we had gone to Fulham directly, maybe we would have been trashed. Maybe we would have lost. So I don't think he had enough time to implement his strategies before the Fulham game. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he offer to the club. We have a new manager. Let's all get behind the new manager. As long as he's in Chelsea's colours, he's wearing Chelsea, he has Chelsea on his chest. We need to back him. We need to support him. So yeah, I know it's painful that we've all lost Tuchel, and it's very very painful that Tuchel has gone. I believe he's going to get a big club very very soon. The man is a Champions League winner. The man is a master tactician. He had a lot of issues going on behind the scenes that I think was affecting his tactics and affecting his play and affecting his mentality. But I believe he's going to get a big team soon. It's a no-brainer. He wouldn't last long unemployed. So yeah. So that's my views on all that happened during the week. Let me know what your thoughts are, what your views are on everything I've discussed and everything that happened this week. Let me know down in the comments below. If you've not subscribed, subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for the support that you gave me during the live stream that I did on a day Tuchel was sacked. I really enjoyed that live stream, and I'm looking forward to doing more. As soon as I get a new a camera, I wanted to use my phone, but I didn't know how it will look. But if it looks well, I'll use my phone as well. I use my phone to record, so if it looks good, I'll do it. So subscribe, hit the like button, helps the channel a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, stay safe.